Hello everyone, I'm Lee Hogan and welcome to MXTV. Unfortunately, Brendan can't be with us tonight, but that's not going to stop us from bringing you another fantastic show, because tonight we'll be hitting the trails with a favourite of ours here on MXTV when we head out to Victoria's High Country with Rocket Rod Lay and the crew. We test the Suzuki DR400E in this week's bike review, and also catch up with a young bloke who's living the dream of every young Aussie racer when we head back to the States to chat with Simmonds. But first up though, speaking of great young riders, earlier in the year we got to catch up with Strang, another Aussie doing terrific in the USA scene. He currently holds the #1 plate in the super tough GNCC off-road series, and we got to catch up with him and have a little bit of a chat in detail about what it took to get the #1 plate.
You're #1 for GNCC, probably the biggest series for off-road racing. How did you feel when you're coming into the championship, when you knew you were going to take it out? What was going through your mind?
Well, the last lap I didn't know. I was in a position to wrap up the title until about 15 seconds until the finish. The start of the race didn't go too well, and then towards the end I started riding better, and I was in 4th and I needed to pass the guy in 3rd to wrap up the championship. So I passed him in a grass track section, the outside in kind of move, and it was like not even a kilometre from the finish. So it was a relief, man. It was so cool to be able to do. I think my old man was standing next to the corner where I passed him to, so it was a good race. Today was probably one of the hardest races I've done still, and I think I'd bottled up all these nerves and I tried to bury him down deep inside and not try and bring him up, but I think they really were there, and that day they came out. I was in tears, and then my old man come running over and he was in tears too, and to finally do it, I mean, it was definitely an emotional afternoon there, and you worked so hard doing it. I mean, it means a lot.
What do you have to do to prepare yourself to get ready for the GNCC?
Rodney Smith, he's a former GNCC champion. He helped me out, and him and his wife. She's actually a personal trainer, so she's the one that kind of trained us. And I think a personal trainer is someone there to guide you and help you and push you to do the hard work. And I think that's why I like going up there, because I don't have to worry about anything. I just go up there, and that's what my focus is, training and getting that done. And while I'm down here, I talk to them frequently and ask them what they think I should be doing and that sort of stuff. But I've been doing it for a while now, so I kind of have an idea of what I want to do and how I feel each day. And we'll go to the gym and do some stuff there, weights and that sort of stuff, and then running and cycling. And I just stay active. And now I'm going to start motoing on the bike again, which I enjoy doing too.
Tell us about your GNCC bike.
Like this bike here I'm riding here today is brand new and it's stock, and I'll go and build it. We'll throw a different suspension in it for off-road with different settings, and then like an F&F pipe. And other than that, we run bib mooses, same as most off-road or enduro racer, and we put a big tank on, and then bark busters, just so if you crash, mainly if you crash, you don't bust levers and that sort of stuff. And then we have to have a reliable motor, like we come to a dusty race or a muddy race where the mud's real tough on the bike. You got to have it last and finish the race. And the Suzuki's really good and reliable, and just stock, I mean, it's fast enough for me.
Having the #1 on your back, is that a target? Do you think it's going to be harder to defend that, or do you think it's easier to chase?
I'm definitely going to have a target on my back. There's some new guys coming up in the XC1 class this year, and I mean, I look at it as a challenge. I won the championship last year, and I've reset my goals, and I want to win more races, and I want to win another 5 championships. And I'm excited for the season to start, and I want to go out and race. I wish I could go race tomorrow, and I feel ready and I feel fast. I'm just excited to go and race people. I mean, it's just a blast, something I've always loved doing.
Yeah, big thanks to Josh there, and we certainly wish him the best in going back-to-back titles this year. Now here on MXTV, we're running a competition that can see you win yourself a bike that'd be right at home in the GNCC, or any enduro for that matter, the brand new KTM 350 EXCF. Let's take a look at how you can win.
This year on MXTV, thanks to KTM and bikesales.com.au, you get the chance to be one of the first people in the world to win a revolutionary new KTM 350 EXCF. The bike that's ready to turn the enduro world upside down. The revolutionary new 350E XCF is brand spanking new and one of the most anticipated releases ever in the enduro world. With a lightweight chrome moly chassis, modern bodywork and a new PDS rear suspension, combined with the compact and powerful new 350E XCF engine, this bike is the ultimate for any real enduro enthusiast. The prize also comes with a complete set of riding gear from Fox Clothing, a handy Kinchrome dirt bike toolkit, and a fantastic oil package from our friends at Motul. It's an unbelievable prize valued at nearly 14 grand, and it couldn't be easier to enter. All you have to do is go to www.bikesales.com.au, click the MXTV competition banner, enter your details, and you're in the running. The winner will be announced in our final show of the series, but keep watching the show each week to find out how you can win. So what are you waiting for? Head to the bikesales.com.au website, get your entry in, and you could be riding away with this truly incredible prize.
Yeah, there's only a few short weeks until we draw that sweet, sweet prize. So get to bikesales.com.au and get your entry in. Okay, well, we're just getting started here on MXTV, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, we've got plenty more action. Welcome back to MXTV. Well, Rocket Rod Lay is a regular and favourite of ours here on MXTV, and recently he took a group out to the Victorian High Country, and we thought we'd tag along.
I'm Rod Lay from Online Off-Road Tours, and I, with the help from others, run awesome adventures for dirt bike riders in the Vic Alps. This is our Tom Grogan adventure. It's a 3-day tour, and in my heart it's pretty special. We go all out to create a really fantastic adventure right up in the high country here. We've got 20 customers and 11 support staff that go out of their way. With so many helpers, we can overcome any obstacle that gets in our way. So you can just bring your bike and be guaranteed a great weekend. We started at a funny place called Kuitong, which is about an hour from Wodonga near the Murray, and did about 190 k's through the high country, through varying terrain to get to this place, which is Tom Grogan Cattle Station, which is at the base of Kosciuszko. And then we lay on, feeds him. My wife is a chef and she does the catering. We have things like Scotch fillet and eye fillet, fantastic stuff to get into. And this place is something special. It's a high country cattle station, but it's all about the romance of the place. It's got a little bit of accommodation, but it's surrounded by fantastic high country trails. You only have to go half an hour or so and you're up to Davies Plains where there's high country meadows and stuff most dirt bike riders will have only ever dreamed about. It's awesome country with incredible views, great climbs, river crossings. It's a real adventure to come up here. It's a unique tour. Day 2 we do a bit of a ride around the station, and then day 3, 180, 190 k's back to the start. And you have to bring all your gear from the start to here. So we actually run 2 support 4-wheel drives with enclosed trailers, as well as a dedicated backup 4-wheel drive to come through the bush with food and fuel. And all of that work pays off in the long run and makes our tours flow smoother and safer. So it's a logistical nightmare really, but it increases the sense of adventure for the rider. It's like they're going from somewhere to somewhere else. It's a journey, and then when they get here, they're in this special part of the world which is just magnificent. It's green and the hills are enormous and the views are fantastic, and it's just got an ambience that's great. You get a very wide assortment of high country trails, everything from low country, loamy stuff to leaf-littered stuff up in the subalpine country to the high country rocky trails, and there'll be some granitic sand in between, some sandy stuff, there'll be some muddy stuff. And recently, due to the torrential rains down here, they've had the dozers moving over some of the tracks, and that's created thumpernat style loamy tracks that are just like motocross. This weekend has been an absolute delight to ride. We share a similar ethos with the Department of Sustainability and Environment. Their catch cry is Ride for Tomorrow, and we believe strongly in that message. Our tours are not only licensed by Parks Victoria, so we're allowed to be here, but we're even eco-accredited, and that took quite a bit of work to get that accreditation. What it basically means is that we ride in a way and promote riding in a way that makes our sports sustainable for the future. You know, we don't do reckless or dangerous things on our bikes. We respect the environment and we respect other people and other bush users, and we think that behaving in that way will mean that in the future we can continue to access these fantastic tracks. I have to be quite honest and say this is a reasonably advanced tour and beginners need not apply. However, a rider of medium ability who turns up with a good attitude and a well-prepared bike and gear can get through, because we've got 5 riding guides and a backup 4-wheel drive as well, and some of us are qualified coaches and can offer some assistance if need be in that area, and so we can help you get through. And you'd be missing a fantastic opportunity if you didn't embrace an organised trail ride with a qualified operator. It doesn't have to be me, there's heaps of them in Australia, but to be able to come along on a ride, on a real adventure, with just a well-prepared bike and a good attitude, and then let someone else take away all the other problems, the guiding, you know, the problems that arise, the food, the fuel, it's just fantastic. You can just then concentrate on your riding and having fun, and there's a much better chance that you avoid all the heartache of problems, and at the end of the weekend, you finish with nothing but a big grin on your face. Fantastic.
Yeah, big thanks to Rod and the boys there. Now, as we mentioned earlier, Ty Simmonds is a great young rider from outback New South Wales who's taken it up to the best in the USA. He's had mixed results so far, but we got to catch up with him earlier on in the year to find out what it's like living the dream in the biggest dirt bike competition in the world.
Well, we're with the JDR J-Star Motors KTM representative and of course Australian young sensation, Ty Simmonds. Ty, welcome to MXTV, mate, over in the States.
Thanks, Belly. Yeah, finally made it here, just, you know, hanging out.
Tell us about your pretty special deal you've got going over here. It's a 2-year deal.
I've signed for 2 years with the JDR J-Star KTM racing teams. For me, it's awesome. It's what I need, just to get over here, get settled the first year, you know, second year I want to, you know, go for it. But we'll just see what happens. Just, you know, give it 110% every week in, week out, and, you know, just see where we go and see how it goes.
Mate, I remember seeing you out in the pits just only 5 years ago down here when you were out here as a little fella with your old man. Now you're back with your old man racing. What a dream it's been for you, mate. I know that you really wanted to get out here and do this. How did the dream come about?
We were with KTM in Australia, and, you know, obviously they swapped over and we're kind of umming and ahhing what to do, and, you know, they promised us if we rode with them, you know, they'd come here the following year. So, you know, that was my dream. It's what I wanted to do, and that's what's happened. I cannot thank the JDR guys enough, Jay and Derek, for everything they've done for me. But, you know, also having Dad here to do this first couple of rounds and racing, it's also an experience that's come a long way.
2 years ago when they first started out, you know, there was a lot of questions and doubts and if, buts and maybes, but everything they've done has been a step forward. We've come here to America and, you know, straight to A1, there wasn't a hiccup. You know, we just rolled on in like we've been here for years. Jay and Derek and Trish have just done a fantastic job.
In Australia, some of the supercrossers, I struggle to sleep the night before, and I never ever struggle with sleeping. They call me the koala bear, I sleep that much. You know, coming into A1, I thought, man, you know, this is going to be so hard, I won't be able to sleep at all. But, you know, it's only an hour up the road to my house, so I slept in my own bed and was, you know, comfortable. The day before, that night, slept perfect, come here and just felt like I was going to a practice day back home. I guess I had no pressure. I just, you know, wanted to get out there, ride and just see what it was like. You know, once I got on the bike and rolled in and done practice and sort of seen all the seats and how big the stadium was, it was pretty cool.
Obviously the first few races have been quite tough.
Yeah, it has been definitely very tough for me. Also, you know, mentally frustrating. You go and you do everything during the week and then, you know, come in and you don't make the main. It's one of the things that you never ever want to go through, but, you know, unfortunately it's happened.
I thought our world was coming to an end, you know, and then we went back that week and trained harder and, you know, worked harder. We rock up again the next weekend, the same deal, didn't qualify. It's one of those things over here, really the heats are harder than the bloody final. It's just quite amazing how many good riders and the depth of talent that's here.
What is it that you think you need to do to step it up and get it up there?
My starts have been killing me, so we need to get them dialed and then do a solid 8 laps in the heat, get to the main, and then punch 20 out. That's just the goal, week in, week out. But definitely starts will help, and just keeping that intensity there the whole time.
Tell you what, you and your old man must have had some great conversations, before here and now that you're here. What's some of the things that we've talked about over the dinner table?
Oh, it's just those long drives, what we call the 20-hour weekends, drive to a race as a junior, 10 hours there, 10 hours back.
One year we done 48 race meetings, so just to, you add up all the hours and that, and you think, you wonder if it's ever worth it, but now that we're here, it definitely is.
We'd always talk how to get faster. When we come over here, what we want to do and what we want to accomplish. I've been talking recently, this isn't, my only goal after racing. I've got big plans. This is just my job to come out and race, but I'm still loving it and having fun. And then, also after it's all done, we've got huge plans together, so I'm really, really looking forward to that, but we'll focus on this first.
Is there anything that you can say, wow, this thing has freaked me out over here, and you're only a boy from the country as well, mate? What is it that America has really opened your eyes to?
One thing that has is that number 7 guy. That's one thing that has opened my eyes. Watching him ride in practice and stuff like that, it's unreal. He'll go out, circle 2 laps, and then, everyone's putting in hard laps. He's just cruising around, and all of a sudden, lays down one fast lap, and every time goes to the top of the board. No, in saying that, just America itself, it's completely different to Australia, completely different to where I'm from. I'm in a town of 300 and we don't even have a traffic light. We've got one roundabout in the spot and no one uses it. We get pulled up at a giveaway sign, we get pulled up by 2 cars in front of us, we're on the horn, and over it here you got to wait, half hour in traffic. So
one of your major sponsors, J-Star Motors, they've been hooking you up with some good rigs or
Yeah,
what?
They have. I got a van, and that actually, one of his dream cars, I have the Chrysler 300, so he's already got one of them. Also, I've moved in a house by myself and just getting everything sorted. I spent the first 5 weeks here without Dad, and normally he's been there for everything, so to do that by myself, you don't really realise what goes into a house and what has to be done, so yeah, that definitely opened my eyes.
Is it everything that you thought it would be?
It's that and more, it's been an awesome experience. I cannot thank the team enough, all the people around me, my dad. It was awesome. Not much more I could say. It's been a really, really good experience. The racing's definitely difficult. I got to pick, a better year to come over and step into the big boys class, but I'm only going to get better riding with those guys week in, week out.
What about the parties, mate? It's LA. There must be some huge parties you've been going to do.
No, I done that before I come over here. I caught up on all the party scenes, so I've been pretty good, so I'm happy with, the routine that's going on. In the mornings, get up, go ride, come back, train, and by that time you're tired. But, we'll leave that to Australia when I go home at the end of the year, when I get time off.
For the father and son out there that are thinking, mate, I want to give my kid a go at this, what advice have you got for them?
Oh, mate, well, it's not the end of the world. If there's a lot of people at home that you've got some fast kids, and the money side of it makes it a lot harder. If you've got the opportunity to get your kids over here to race while they're amateurs, I think it's a good opportunity, But if you can't, it's not the end of the world, You'll still, as you turn senior, you could still get over here and make it. But I definitely do believe the experience that they gain from coming over here as kids, helps you later on in life.
Is there one thing that you could pick that you could say to this is what you need to practice for? Because, in Australia, we don't have a lot of supercross tracks to practice on. What would you say to the guys that are coming in and want to be prepared?
Just to have fun with it all, You're not having fun, don't do it. You're not going to go anywhere. You make it a lot harder on yourself, your parents, or whoever's, backing you. And also get some good group of guys around you to ride with. In Burke, I had the best tracks in the world, better than here. Dad prepped them every day, they were perfect, but I had, a 9-year-old cousin to ride with, that was it. He was on a 65, so, within the last 3 years, that's been my biggest problem. Haven't had anyone to ride with. Even if it is a crappy track, you get 5 or 6 guys out there riding, you'll go ahead and leaps and bounds. Over here, it's a lot better every day. We're riding with Roxon, Shorty, Dan Reed, and Doggy Marmont, PJ, so it's so much better.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
No
It's
worries.
been fantastic.
Thanks,
Had a
Billy.
ball, and look forward to reading more about you as the year goes on.
Thank you very much.
This week in our product review, we take a look at a fantastic chain from Suzuki. Let's face it, most of us don't spend much time thinking about chains as they're usually ignored, overlooked and just generally underappreciated. I'm here to tell you though people, given it's the only thing that connects your power plant to your back wheel, it's important you have a good one. And in our opinion, the Suzuki chains are amongst the best in the world. Suzuki is the world's largest chain manufacturer, so you know their products are the best quality and come on the back of a heap of research and development. They're strong, durable, reliable and provide high performance using the best quality components. Suzuki supply a full range of chains for all types of bikes, but for dirt bike riders, we suggest Suzuki Alpha X-Ring is the best for the high performance off-road bikes, and the MX Pro Gold, which is a spin riveted chain with ceramic coated pins for extra wear resistance, is specifically designed for you motocrossers out there. Suzuki chains are also excellent value for money, so to get your hands on one, pop down to your local dealer or go to the Birdman Accessories website.
Yeah, another great product there. Welcome back to MXTV. It's time now to take a look at this week's bike review. We're going to take a look at the Suzuki DR400E.
This week in our MXTV bike review, we take a look at the 2011 Suzuki DR400E. The DR400E is a classic blend of performance and practicality, featuring a powerful 4-stroke engine, agile handling and a rugged chassis, ready to take on the toughest terrain. The bike has an extra slim off-road rider-friendly chassis, electric starter and easy-to-read multi-function digital instruments that include dual trip meters. With easy air filter access, grease nipples of the swing arm pivot and shock absorber linkage bearing, and ability to remove the clutch cover without draining the engine coolant, it's no surprise that this reliable and low-maintenance classic is among Australia's favourite trail bikes. The DR400E is available in Australia now, and for a competitive quote on your fire and theft insurance, contact QBE Insurance, the motorcycle insurance specialists. Okay, let's see what Jamie and our semi-regular tester Belly have to say about the bike.
Well, first of all, let me say it's great to be back doing bike reviews. Cam is away, unfortunately, on some race business, but it doesn't matter. I'm here and I'm doing bike reviews and I love it.
There hasn't been a great deal of changes made to the DRZ400, other than a few stickers and a few bits and pieces. It's been a pretty steady bike for quite a few years now.
Last time Jamie and I did a review on the DRZ400, we said to him that I'd change the bars and the tyres, and that's exactly what Suzuki have done. Today, Suzuki supplied us a bike with some Pirelli tyres and some tag handlebars.
The ergonomics on this DRZ I found a little bit cramped when I was sitting down, made it a little bit difficult for me. I'm 6 foot. When I stood up, it actually made it worse. I was way too far over the front of the bike. That can be modified. Lift the handlebars, move the seat.
I'm about 4 inches shorter than Jamie, and I found the ergos on the bike to be perfect for me. I always love riding the DRZs because they're a little bit smaller and a little bit closer to the ground. So for myself, they're a little bit easier to turn, I feel anyway.
I would anticipate that this bike would be aimed at the learning trail rider. As long as you've got some capabilities, it'll fit anyone really, from a learner right up to a pro. The 400 engine is enough power to get you into trouble and enough power to get you out of trouble. It does basically what you want.
One last thing about this engine is it's bulletproof. That's why it's the highest selling trail bike out there at the moment. Most of the time it's just put petrol in them, change the oil on regular intervals, and they just keep going and going and going.
You can buy this bike, you can do a 5-minute trail ride, you can do a 10-hour trail ride. It's comfortable, it's safe, it does everything really well. It's a good, safe, comfortable bike.
I don't think I'd change a great deal on it, to tell you the truth, but I certainly would pick where I'm going to go riding it. I certainly wouldn't be using it to go racing. It's not made for that. I would be using it if I wanted to go out on a weekend trail ride where we were going to ride to the pub, have a bit of fun and come back, because it's a great little lounge chair to do that.
Now it's almost time to go, but before we do, it's time to take a look at how the big DRZ400E went in our hot lap. Well, it's not really what it's cut out for, to be fair, but we got Cam to open the big DRZ400 up and it did pretty well with a time of 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Not too shabby at all. Well, that's about all we've got time for here on MXTV. I'm happy to say we will see Belly back here next week. So on behalf of Belly, myself, Lee Hogan and the whole MXTV crew, until next week, make sure you hold it on.